Hello there and welcome to this week's video that is inspired by the many emails I've received from high school students, from university students, from recent graduates asking me for a career advice or asking me to review their CV. Now I have responded to each and every one, but I believe a video of this kind will be valuable for anyone who is in a similar position, regardless whether that is in the field of finance, accounting, or a completely other field, as I believe this advice will be generally applicable for anyone who wants to kind of increase the probability of success in the future when it comes to, of course, getting a job and um, having a better career than otherwise. And I want to start with what I've noticed is the biggest mistake, that is relying on your degree. Now, I have a degree as well, and I do understand the emotional attachment to it, as anybody who has a degree has spent 2 years, 4, 5, 6 years to obtain it. And of course, it's not only a significant portion of your life, but you've put a lot of hard work and dedication to get it. And it is something that you should be proud of, don't get me wrong. Now, the challenge comes when you send your CV to your potential employer. Well, your CV is not the only one on their desk. There's a pile of other CVs, and chances are that many of those other CVs also have a degree listed on them. So having a degree kind of puts you at the same level as all the other candidates, but doesn't give you any competitive advantage. So, and even if you had the best grades, it's still not enough. And the reason why it's not enough is because maybe there's someone else who has worse grades, but has done something amazing, has put the knowledge into practice, and now that person stands out. So the question is, how do you stand out? And I think this is a question that everybody should be asking. Again, whether it's someone who is in high school or university or recent graduate, how do you stand out? How do you make sure that when the CV lands at a hiring manager, the hiring manager has been impressed and already has the decision in his mind or her mind to invite you for an interview, or just is basically interested in meeting you to better understand how you can contribute within the company or whether you're the right fit for that particular role. So this is a question that's very important, and there is no one answer that will be applicable for everyone. But here are a couple of examples. The first one is get a valuable skill and also put that in practice. So if you're in finance or accounting, well, we know what are the skills that you've likely obtained throughout the studies. But what if you have a skill such as you know how to program in Python and you've done a project and here's the project? Not only you have obtained the skill, but you have also put that skill in practice. And I've mentioned here in brackets, don't only list courses. And the reason why I mentioned that is, well, what is university? It is kind of a set of courses, set of subjects that you've taken. So if you list additional courses, it kind of shows that you've done more of the same. It shows that you have the ability to sit down, to study, to take exams, but none of that is being applied in practice. So there's nothing wrong with going through courses, but listing them, in my opinion, is also not something that stands out. What is it that you've built with that knowledge? That is the most important question. If you think about it, what is the difference between an intern and someone who is senior? It's not the degree, it's not the courses, it is experience. The senior has proven that can get the job done. That brings us to the second point, work experience. You might want to volunteer somewhere, find internship, maybe help some family member or friend in certain area that maybe you have the knowledge. Number 3, I've noted here is freelancing. And the reason why I've noted it here is because I believe that is what was standing out on my CV when I applied both at PwC back in the days and at KPMG at the same time as a student. So I didn't even have the degree, but I had experience. And I had probably most experience from all the candidates out there, even though many of them had graduated already. So my advice is always make sure that whatever's on your CV is better because you have proven you can get the job done. So not that it's better because you've done another course, not because you've read another book. None of that shows that you have the ability to create something. You have to show that you have done something with the knowledge. You can start a blog. And this is maybe a cliche, but I believe that it can be useful. And imagine that you want to get a job in equity or valuations or something within this industry. Well, if you have a blog where you have valued 10, 15, 20 different companies, and now you have attached a link to the blog as part of your CV, very likely the hiring manager will take a look at the blog and already have a better understanding of your thought process, of your ideas. And it's also a proof that you know how to read the annual reports, structure the data, analyze, present it in a meaningful way. Even though you won't be earning money from the blog, it will help you get a job that otherwise you could not get. Finally, reach out to me. And I'm not referring to reach out to me for me to review your CV, but reach out to me if you want to work on something and you need some guidance. If you want to work on a valuation, certain company, let's do it. I'll help you out. And if you want, we can also make a video on that. It doesn't have to be together if you don't feel like being part of a video. I can give you shoutouts at the very beginning. I could say, hey, this is a video, casual valuation that I worked with this person who did this part, who did this analysis. I'll give you all the credits. So and that is also something that you can put on your CV. I worked with Costa on valuing this company. And during the interview, well, there are other topics to discuss other than, well, if you don't have anything else, nobody will discuss about your degree. I don't think that there will be questions about your degree. It is quite a straightforward journey, but everything else that's on the CV is there for a reason, and you have to make sure that you stand out by that. And I hope that this is useful to anyone who's watching this video that is in this position, that is wondering why I don't get asked for an interview, or what can I do to make sure that I increase my chances of getting a job. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, see you in the next one.